Hi everyone, this is Dan from Revent. Today we're going to be walking through how to connect your Zoom conference into Wirecast as a video source in order to enhance the live streaming capabilities and production quality of your next event.
Okay, so here we are in Wirecast, and we're going to make sure we set up our Wirecast first before we open up our Zoom. Now we have a few shots currently lined up. We have a clock over here in the first layer. We've got some text, and we've got a looping video that will play alongside. So altogether, the shot's going to look like this. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to set up a virtual camera out in Wirecast. That way, once we're in Zoom, we can go ahead and select that as our video output to the rest of the presenters. And then all the presenters in our Zoom meeting will see whatever we're streaming out in Wirecast, whether that's this standby display that we're currently broadcasting, or whether it's a video playback that's going to play back in full before we bring our Zoom presenters in. So the way we do that is we go up into Output, go to Virtual Camera Out, make sure the aspect ratio that you'd like is selected, and then click Start. Once that's running, you'll see that it's always going to be running in the background, and everything else will be grayed out with only the option to stop if we need to. Now that that's running, we're going to go ahead and clear some of our layers out of our preview shot. And then we're going to want to go ahead and add a screen capture. Now one thing with this setup is I have two monitors here, and that is highly recommended. That way we can open our Zoom and run it completely within our secondary monitor, and then we'll have our primary monitor for Wirecast and for any other files on the desktop that we need to open alongside. So we're going to go ahead and click the plus icon, go to Screen Capture, and go ahead and select New Screen Capture and then Add. You'll see that the default screen that it picks up is going to be your primary monitor, which is the one that we have Wirecast running on. So there's a few things in the screen capture properties over on the left that we're going to change to get that set up correctly. The first is going to be Select Window/Monitor, so go ahead and click Configure. And then use the drop-down to select the monitor that you're going to be broadcasting your Zoom meeting to. So that's going to be my secondary monitor here. The next is going to be Choose Audio Device, so go ahead and select that. And then from the drop-down, you're going to select the audio device that's going to pick up your desktop audio, which is what we want feeding into Wirecast. For me, that's going to be this Speakers Realtek High Definition Audio shot. One thing to note is if you are on a Mac and you have a newer chipset, you're not able to pull the desktop audio the way that it works on a PC like this. You actually need some third-party software to help get that done. So one that we would recommend is called Loopback. And you would open up Loopback, and what you can do through there is you can pull in a few applications, including your Zoom meeting, to set up a brand new audio source, which you would then set underneath your screen capture. You can go ahead and right-click the screen capture, change audio, and once Loopback is running, you can select it from the list. So the next step is to open up Zoom on your computer. We're going to open up two instances of Zoom. One is going to be in our secondary monitor, and we'll go full screen with that. And then I'm going to log in on a secondary device, and for that one I'm going to hide the video, and we'll just open up the audio. That way we have a way of speaking to the presenters, talking to them in the pre-conference within Zoom without disrupting our actual shot that's going into Wirecast. Okay, now we have a Zoom meeting loaded up in that secondary monitor. And you can see over here, I'm going to go ahead and start my video and make sure I'm starting my Wirecast virtual display, and you'll see there it is. We have the video that's currently outputted inside our Zoom meeting. Once that's set up, I'm going to go ahead and mute the audio here. One thing to keep in mind is when you do log into Zoom, you want to make sure you connect your desktop audio to Zoom. That way you get the audio coming through from any presenters that join the Zoom meeting. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to log in on my secondary device, so you'll see that pop up shortly within Zoom. Okay, I have my mobile device connected to Zoom now. You can see the video coming through. Right now I have my mobile audio muted, but I'm going to go ahead and unmute for just a second so you can see the bars in Wirecast, just to make sure the audio is coming through.
Test 1, 2, 3.
There we go. If we had other presenters in that Zoom meeting, we would see and hear that audio coming through Wirecast as well. So you can also see we have a lot of extra space on the left and the right-hand side. We also see these icons pop up if we mouse over Zoom, so we want to crop those out. The easiest way to do that is just to do so in Wirecast. So go ahead and click the second icon for the shot layer properties and go down into crop. And then from there, with the correct shot highlighted, you can go ahead and crop your image from the top and the bottom, and as well as the left and the right-hand side if you need to. One thing to keep in mind while you're doing this, if you have multiple presenters that are going to be on the Zoom meeting, go ahead and crop this out and test the different layouts you'll see, whether they're all going to be on camera or whether some will be muted at a certain time, because Zoom will change that layout. We want to make sure it looks good with everybody that's going to be on, no matter what they're selecting. One other thing that you can do here is you can go ahead and drag this shot to fill up the edges of your frame. That way you'll get a larger video piece than you would have normally. And that's pretty much it. So right now we can talk to our presenters on our mobile device or secondary device on Zoom, make sure they're all set while we're broadcasting out something separately into Wirecast. Right now it's just this pre-roll video, and then it's as simple as just pushing the screen capture into the live shot the way you would for anything else within Wirecast. Just like this.
Now there's going to be plenty of instances where it's just fine to connect Zoom into your streaming platform using the RTMP address directly without the go-between piece of Wirecast. You can handle a lot of the video switches, video playback, screen share, aspects like that directly through Zoom. But for those looking for that extra layer of polish or some other sources you'd like to bring into the shot, or if you'd like to keep your Zoom meeting private in a pre-conference while your presentation is live and then bring them in once it's time, this is a great way to accomplish that. So for more tips, keep an eye on our YouTube page or visit us at revent.consulting.